Hello everybody and welcome to another video on the Pole Position YouTube channel. In this video we are going to be reviewing the French Grand Prix and looking at the winners and the losers of the race at the circuit Paul Ricard. Obviously Max Verstappen, as hopefully everybody has seen, Max Verstappen came out the victor of the race, beating Lewis Hamilton and lapping him on the last couple of laps before the end of the race. And ultimately it saw Red Bull win their third race in a row for the first time in the turbo hybrid era. So great result for Red Bull, great result for Max Verstappen because he now extends the lead by 12 points as well. But great result for him. He's obviously going to be in the winners section, but who is going to be in the losers section? Without further ado, let's get into it. So of course, like I said, we'll have a look into the winners first, and we have to mention both Red Bull drivers really in general. Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez had a great race. Obviously Max Verstappen was the only driver out of the main top four, as it were, to stop twice, and ultimately that played dividends into him. It allowed him to have that time to creep back up. I thought if anyone was going to maybe make that chance, I thought maybe Mercedes would do it because they weren't the ones who were leading the race. I thought maybe Red Bull would be a bit conservative again with the fact that they were leading the race, and obviously track position is key. But it was them to make that decision. Christian Horner said before the race that he didn't want another sort of Spanish Grand Prix where Mercedes sort of took the leap and ended up overtaking Max Verstappen a few laps before the end. And ultimately they made this choice, and it was them who overtook Mercedes and overtook Hamilton in the end as well. So great strategy by Red Bull to claim victory. He passed him on lap 52 of 53, so like I say, ultimately on the last couple of laps. His third win of the year now as well, and it's the first time in his career that he's got pole position, won the race, and got the fastest lap in the race as well. So yeah, great result for Max Verstappen, but also Sergio Perez. He did a great sort of first stint for the team, which allowed him to only do that one stop and have fresher tyres at the end. So actually, he was closing in on Lewis Hamilton as well, obviously as overtaking Valtteri Bottas. Both Red Bull drivers with that sort of different strategy allowed them to overtake Valtteri Bottas, who I will go on to in a minute, who really didn't have a great day in terms of his strategy decisions that were made for him. But ultimately as a result for Red Bull, great result for both drivers and great result for the team, because obviously they extend in the constructors, but ultimately Max Verstappen is now 12 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who it looks like Lewis Hamilton was going to take points off of him. So main section in the winners, both Red Bull drivers, Verstappen and Perez. The next team I'm going to put in there is McLaren. Ultimately on a day where their main competitors, who I'm also going to go into, Ferrari, messed up completely and had a really shocker of a day. McLaren capitalised on that, and both Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris put in some great performances today, and I think ultimately this was Daniel Ricciardo's most consistent race since he's been at McLaren. Great overtake manoeuvres, looked confident. Him and his engineer were sort of pumped up every time he made an overtake. It looked good, and I think that was a classic Daniel Ricciardo race. So yeah, great result from him. But ultimately again, Lando Norris still sort of pipping him to being the highest McLaren on the list. So great job from both McLarens. But yeah, Norris and Ricciardo getting the points for the team when on a day where Ferrari, who are their main competitors this season for that third place, really struggled. So yeah, great job for McLaren. And I'm going to mention Ferrari next, because obviously they're just spoken about McLaren. Charles Leclerc said it was like they were going backwards today. We went backwards in terms of our performance in what was highlighted at Paul Ricard. Obviously had decent results in both Monaco and Baku in terms of Azerbaijan, but I think with them being sort of street circuits, when they came back to a normal track layout, as it were, with Paul Ricard, it was always going to be difficult. But neither of the cars, who both started in the top 10 actually, and it looked like they were going to get a good haul of points, at the end of the race, just disappointing. Just struggled with main pace, straight line speed, struggled against all the other cars. Aston Martin, who I wasn't going to put in the winner section, but they went long on both their tyre strategies and managed to leapfrog the Ferraris as well, just in terms of outright pace and fresher tyres at the end as well. So Carlos Sainz finished 11th, so just outside the points, and Charles Leclerc, who I think pitted twice, but ultimately came home in a very lonely 16th, and considering when he started in P7, Really disappointing performance from both the Ferrari drivers, with the sense that they've had good races in the last couple before this. So yeah, disappointing day for both the Ferraris, but yeah, Charles Leclerc in particular, who was finishing in 16th, which isn't great for their chance with McLaren in the championship. And the next ones in terms of the loser section as well, I am putting Valtteri Bottas. Now, you may think he's in 4th place, the good haul of points for the team. Why is he in 4th place? Ultimately because he really struggled with the strategy today, and I think it's again highlighted just maybe the friction that he's got in that team with Mercedes at the minute. He asked halfway through the race, and he said to the team, I think this is going to be a 2-stop race. I think we maybe need to consider a plan B, or maybe put me onto a different strategy to Lewis. And obviously we've seen that in the past, where I think it was maybe Mugello last year, where Bottas asked to be on a different tyre strategy, and obviously they decided to go on the same one for both cars, and they basically, I don't want to say ignored his strategy, but they continued on with the one that they were going for, and ultimately Max Verstappen was the one to take the 2-stop, ultimately overtook Valtteri Bottas as well, and went on to overtake Hamilton to win the race. We saw a bit of language in Bottas's radio to the team saying, why didn't you listen to me when I said we should have gone on a different strategy for a 2-stop? And I think that's just pure frustration. When I know drivers don't see the full picture, and Mercedes still believed that start, going on that stint was better and doing a 1-stop. But when you're a driver and you obviously can feel that with the tyres, you can feel the car, maybe it's a better option to go on that, go for that 2nd stop, and they don't do it, then it does cause a little bit of friction. I expect they've probably all sorted it by now, but the only reason why he's in that loose section is because he wasn't happy with the way that the strategy went for Mercedes, and ultimately didn't put much of a defence against Max Verstappen. He said his tyres were shot, so there's hardly any chance of me even making a defence against Verstappen, and obviously we saw that. And again, obviously Sergio Perez overtook him as well, so a 1-2 for Mercedes at one point ended a 2-4 for them, so not a great day for Mercedes overall, but I'm putting Valtteri Bottas in that section mainly. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on the French Grand Prix. It was one of the better French Grand Prix we've had since it's come back on the calendar. Probably think it was the better one, but let me know your thoughts. Is it good to still see Max Verstappen ahead in the Drivers' Championship? Does this mean the battle may go on a little bit longer? You think Max Verstappen actually has a chance of winning this now with the consistent basis of what Red Bull have been doing over the last 3 races? And of course, we're still in this triple header now, so the next 2 races are in Austria, the home of Red Bull, so can they pull off some victories in that as well? We will wait and see. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please like the video if you've enjoyed it, and of course subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care. See you soon.